Rockford, Illinois is 3 toll plazas west from Chicago along the evil monster that is the Illinois Tollway. I visited Rockford, Illinois on March 13th and 14th, 2021. Instead of making one 5-hour-long video to go through the whole city, I split it up into 5 different sections. The city is split up into these 5 sections in a way that each video will show a different part of the city in a socio-economic way. For instance, the northeast side of town is a more affluent part of town than the west side is. Also, while I was here, I visited some of Rockford's suburbs and other nearby Illinois towns. Rockford, Illinois is the largest city in Illinois outside of the Chicago area, and in this video I'm going to drive in mad circles around downtown Rockford, and I'll tell you more about it along the way. Well, let's get to it, shall we? Why not start where we left off in the last video? This is a building that was formerly operated by the Barber Coleman Company, which was a company that specialized in textile and milling machinery. This particular building was listed on the National Register of Historic Places in August of 2006. The Barber Coleman Company is one of many former companies that were located in this Rust Belt city that collectively employed thousands of workers. The Barber Coleman Company operated from 1894 to the 1980s. With that said and done, it is time to head towards downtown. If you enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, as doing all of those things helps these videos destroy the monster that is the YouTube algorithm. Also, make sure to hit that notification bell so that you can be notified every time that I upload a new video of an area near you. If you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy checking out some of the featured playlists on this channel. Videos on other places like downtown Rockford can be found in my Rockford playlist, my Illinois playlist, or in my USA Medium-Sized Cities playlist. Last but not least, if you can't get enough of me on here, you can always go follow me on my other social media accounts, and those links are below. Along the South Main Street thoroughfare, you can see a lot of older buildings, and many of them are underused or are currently vacant. It also seems like there used to be more buildings along this thoroughfare at one point, as there's a few vacant properties here and there. It's pretty typical for Rust Belt cities to have empty sections of the city right outside of their downtowns, and as you can see, Rockford is no exception. However, up ahead you'll see that Rockford does have some neat things in downtown. Granted, there are more empty buildings in downtown Rockford than in most other cities of its size, but you can also see that there are newer businesses, restaurants, and other things that, pandemic aside of course, seem to be doing pretty well. In order for any city to come back from an economic struggle, in my opinion, it all starts with having an attractive downtown, and you can see the efforts as you stroll through downtown Rockford. Ahead on the left is the BMO Harris Bank Center, which is formerly known as the Rockford Metro Center. The building opened in 1981. In 1986, the arena hosted the first ever Arena Football League test game between the Chicago Politicians and the Rockford Metros, even though the first actual Arena League football game was in Pittsburgh. Today, the arena serves as the home for the AHL's Rockford Ice Hogs and serves as a concert venue. Next, I'll show you the side shots along Main Street heading north before giving you a regular drive-through shot of Main Street itself. I believe this entire section that we're about to drive through is all a part of the West Downtown Rockford Historic District. Rockford was first founded in 1834 by a man named Germanicus Kent. Kent came from Galena and settled on the west side of the Rock River, and originally the town was named Kentville after him. The name changed to Midway shortly after, and in 1837 it was officially named Rockford. Rockford was able to grow as it was halfway between Chicago and Galena. In 1852, Rockford was chartered as a city. Large amounts of Swedish immigrants came to settle in this new city starting in the 1850s. Swedish were by far and away the largest ethnic group in the city. Other settlers to Rockford were of Italian, Polish, and Lithuanian descent primarily. Louis Lemon, an African American, is credited as one of the founders of the city, and at the time he was one of the only of his kind in the city. After World War I, however, just like every other Midwestern city, the Underground Railroad helped slaves head north to escape the South. Industrial manufacturing was key in this city early on, and those jobs are what helped the city grow. To the left is the currently vacant Times Theater. The theater opened in 1938. Most recently, it was used as a restaurant, but ever since 2013, it's remained empty. Hopefully something can be made of it soon. And to the left here is the Coronado Performing Arts Center, or the Coronado Theater, which can seat up to 2,400. It's a much larger theater than the Times Theater, as the Times Theater seats only 1,000. The theater opened in 1927 and was renovated during a period from 1998 to 2001. In 1979, the Coronado Theater was added to the National Register of Historic Places. The theater continues to be in use today. Currently, we're skimming the far northeast side of downtown. Last time that I was here back in August, I wasn't able to get this much of downtown, or this much of the entire city for that matter. In August, I maybe spent 3 hours in Rockford driving around, while this time around I spent an entire day going through the whole city. Plus, there were protesters blocking streets in downtown when I was here in August, so I wasn't able to drive on certain streets, such as State Street, which is the main east and west route through town. I also didn't get any shots of the protests, as police blockades lined every street leading up to where the protests were. I remember the police being very friendly that day too, at least to me. The footage from that trip is deleted though, but like I said, there wasn't much to see with that footage, so I'm glad that I came back. Currently, we are driving parallel to Main Street, one block to the west, going the opposite of the same way that we came. Every article that you look up about downtown Rockford states that as recent as 10 years ago, downtown had more empty buildings than occupied buildings, at least the west side. You might not see too many people out currently, but the day was just getting started and it was a Saturday, maybe around 9 a.m. Originally, the west side of the river is where all of the activity was when the city was young, and then the more vibrant side flipped over to the east side of the river. However, in the last 10 years or so, new businesses and renovations have taken place in the west side of downtown. I kinda contradict myself here, as obviously those renovations haven't reached this far out. As you can see, there's a couple of eyesores. Cedar Street skims the southwestern edge of downtown, and behind these abandoned warehouses are some railroad tracks. Winnebago Street sort of, but not really, serves as the northwestern border of downtown. To the right, the church that you see is the St. Mary Oratory. Overall, Rockford is home to 145,000 residents, which is down from a 2010 peak population of 152,000. Since 2010, Rockford has lost about 7,700 residents, making it the 9th largest amount of population lost for any municipality in the country during that time frame. On top of that, the metro area has lost 20,000 residents since 2010, or a rate of about negative 5.8%, making Peoria the largest metro area in Illinois that's entirely within the state of Illinois. It used to be Rockford.
Hello? Chicago, the 3rd largest city in the country, is located in Illinois.
Oh, hush. I said that Rockford used to be the largest metro area entirely within the state of Illinois. The Chicago metro area is spread throughout 3 states. Anyway, Rockford is home to 145,000 residents. The median household income is $44,000 per year, and 22% of adults 25 and older hold a bachelor's degree or higher. The median value of owner-occupied housing units is $91,000, and Niche.com gives the Rockford Public Schools overall a C+ grade. The violent and property crime rates are way above the national average, and just like most large cities in the Midwest, Rockford is segregated where you'll find the poverty, unemployment rates, and crime rates to be much higher in certain parts of town, such as the West Side or the Southeast Side in Rockford's case. You don't have to worry about getting mugged while out and about in downtown like you did maybe 10 or 15 years ago. I will say, though, that Rockford saw 36 murders in 2020, which is a record for Rockford. You residents of Rockford need to start learning how to get along with each other and stop shooting each other.
36? That's nothing.
Oh, stop. Rockford has about 150,000 people if you round up, and if you round up 36 to 40, then let's do some math here. 150,000 times 4 is 600,000. 40 times 4 is 120. Sounds a little bit different now, doesn't it? So basically, with that ratio, if Rockford were to have 600,000 people, there would have been 120 murders in the city. That's a pretty high number for a city of 600,000 to have 120 murders. But instead of trying to argue about what number of murders would be considered to be high or not, I think we all agree that that number should be 0, everywhere. We'd like to see it that way anyway, wouldn't we? Speaking of that, this is where the Winnebago County Sheriff's Office is located and the Winnebago County Justice Center. Now I head southeast to the opposite side of the Rock River to check out the east side of downtown. To me, this street seems to be in good shape overall. There are a couple of boarded up doors and windows along the street, but who knows if that was due to the mass amount of protests that Rockford saw. Like many cities in the US, Rockford saw vandalism in downtown. In fact, when I drove through in August, this entire section of State Street was blocked off to traffic all the way to the other side of the river. Main Street and Wyman Street were also blocked off in some large stretches, if I remember correctly. Ahead on the right is the Rockford News Tower, or maybe some people call it the Register Star News Tower. It was built in 1930 and might be the best looking building in Rockford. Rockford isn't known for having tall buildings, as the tallest building in Rockford is the 186-foot tall Faust Landmark. For those familiar with the heights of skyscrapers, that isn't very tall, even for a mid-sized city like Rockford. The Faust Landmark will be not too far up ahead on the left. Now that we've crossed the Rock River, we're on the east side of downtown for the first time in this video. And on the left you can see the Faust Landmark. It was built in 1929 and it's been the tallest building in Rockford ever since. Originally it was a hotel and now it's an apartment complex that houses seniors. Once again, the building is 186 feet tall. This is the Midway Theater, directly across State Street from the Faust Landmark. The Midway Theater is the oldest theater in Rockford as it opened in 1918. Hopefully one day soon the theater can be restored and occupied. So far, I've only uploaded 2 videos on Rockford, this one and the one on Rockford's west side. In the west side video, I mentioned that Rockford was home to several inventions. In case you haven't watched that video, those inventions were the Nelson knitting machine, the airbrush, the electric brake, the dollar bill changer, the electric dartboard, and the electric garage door opener. To the right is the Riverview Ice House. Every city should have a good indoor ice skating rink. In this area, there's also some nice views of the river. Nice place to go for a jog and maybe walk your dog. Don't forget to pick up after your dog though, because if you don't, then you're just trash. In case you wanted it, here's another view of the Faust Landmark. And here's some more side shots while driving across the Rock River. In this video, you saw just about everything of note within downtown Rockford, Illinois. I do end the video at the Rockford Art Museum, which I suppose seems like a cool place to visit if you're in town. Behind this is also the Burpee Museum of Natural History. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, as doing all of those things helps these videos destroy the monster that is the YouTube algorithm. Also, make sure to hit that notification bell so that you can be notified every time that I upload a new video of an area near you. If you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy checking out some of the featured playlists on this channel. Videos on other places like downtown Rockford can be found in my Rockford playlist, my Illinois playlist, or in my USA medium-sized cities playlist. Last but not least, if you can't get enough of me on here, you can always go follow me on my other social media accounts, and those links are below. We'll see you next time. Peace!